Hello and welcome back to your personal code of conduct. Welcome to Dio's weekly dose of sanity. I'm existing with my very loud internet, still not having like gotten my shit together because I have no time. I was like, how the fuck do I have like so little time? But okay, so here we are, and today we're going to talk about things I've learned about myself. I would say like over the past 3 months, or is it over the past entire thing? I have learned that I'm an individual who gets like I've accepted that I've made a loss. Like I've accepted that I've lost something and I have to look forward. And I have to forget that like my reputation probably is in the toilet. Like I've accepted that I am not remotely anywhere as like lackadaisical. Is the word lackadaisical or uncaring of towards attitude or people's attitudes or what my perception of what people think of me is. And my what's the word? The easiest way I just deal with it is just like to avoid people altogether because people are like they quite a lot of hard work. Says the girl talking to my hoping for listeners. Lol. And in a very loud room, in a very hot room. Oh my god, where the fuck is my fan? This place is like the heat is killing me. Jesus. What have I learned about myself? And how have I improved? I have learned that not getting people not liking my idea or people having like strong opposition towards like the ideas that I've put forward feels like ridicule to me. And I always have it at the back of my mind that this person is probably ridiculing me or this person is this. Then how have I been able to fix this? By genuinely, I won't say not caring, but understanding that I won't say I do my best. I do what I'm willing to do. That's one thing I found about myself in university, like, and has been able to come through a lot of things. I do what I'm willing to do. Then I'll either accept the consequences of the consequences if it was like under the requirements, or I aggressively push forward to get the compliments I need when the compliments I need when it's not what's the word, when I know I did very well on something. I realized I don't know how to deal with pushback. I've realized for a long time, and this is something that I personally need to work on, how to deal with pushback. Like I realized that the people I'm often friends with, we've never fought. Like, and I makes me wonder, like, do we even have a deep friendship? Like, are we making attempts to see each other? Do they want to see me? Am I an annoying human being? And yeah, my brain going to a spiral. But like, I aggressively avoid conflict. Actually, I should call people. Jesus fucking Christ, I should call people. I should call people and let them know that I give a shit about them and I want to hang out with them. So next Saturday, I'm not going to spend it holed up in a wall because I'm going to the office like next week. Or is it upper Saturday? Let me say upper Saturday. I'm not going to spend it holed up in a wall. I'm going to accept that this first 3 months was an underperformance on my part. And I'm going to improve it. I'm going to do well and I'm going to go forward and everything is going to be great. And everything is going to be fine. And I think I have like an irrational fear of what I would say what people like, how will I put it? All the words I say, like, oh, okay, you can't just not give a shit about what people think about it. The thing is, like, even though I know I have a crippling fear of being disliked, I'm always in doubts that maybe I was wrong, or I'm always in thoughts that this individual has horrible intentions, or this individual wants to do something horrible to me just for the sole purpose that they do not like my existence. I still like it appears like when I was like listening to the like art of not giving a fuck. I think I'm slightly different from the human beings that are not taking care of themselves because they think nobody because like they care too much. I know no, that is not me at all. I appear similar to that, but that's not me at all. I the thing is, as much as afraid of being disliked, and I'm often like being irrational and be like, oh, this person likes me and doesn't like me, or this person's out to get me, or this person's character scares me, because their individuals' characters are just terrifying me. And I'm afraid of people raising their voice at me. I'm afraid. That's the reason, like, the general fear of wanting to do well, wanting to do, like, what's the word? Wanting to ensure what you did was good. Because you have built up this whole concept of people are going to be disappointed in you. And there's that. But, like, you exist. You're living your life. You're trying to be fine. And you're trying to exist. And you're trying to have vibes. And nobody's chasing you for anything, because they don't need you for stuff. And you want to be noticed. You want to have effects on people. You want to complete things. You want to be fine. You want to be happy. You want to be strong. You want to have time. You don't want to be doing side projects. You want to have structure and happiness and be able to mobilize people. You want to do things that matter. And I think these are things I've always known about myself, but I didn't understand the extent to which, like, people terrify me. Like, the extent to which I'm afraid of pushback. The extent to, because I noticed, like, one particular, like, every day, like, I'm with individuals who constantly push my boundaries, and I think it makes me want to speak up more for myself. I know I appear very opinionated, but that's one big improvement I made for myself. Like, not just letting go and abandoning things and going off to the sideline to complain about it, but like, I've increased the amount of times I grab things by the horns, because I want it, because I want to lead, because I want to be seen. And I'm improving, even though there's a lot of things that I'm behind on, a lot of things that I haven't gone across to take hold of, a lot of things that I should be more confident. I shouldn't be very, very afraid of people's reaction. Like, that's one thing. I'm terrified of negative pushback. I'm terrified that a word coming out of my mouth could be seen as stupid. Or like an opinion I have could be seen as unintelligent, or an option I give, or I did not have the right answer at the right time. So I'm working like two things: to push myself out there and being able to understand that even if the pushback is genuinely negative and this human being genuinely dislikes my existence, and like all sorts of things are happening and horrible things are genuinely, I'm probably using the word genuinely, and horrible things are happening a lot now. Oh god, me and my horrible background, and horrible things are happening a lot. I need to understand, because I'm improving for some things, and I like the fact that I'm speaking up, and I wasn't terrified, because I really like, I won't call this in the middle of the podcast, because I started the podcast like, oh my god, it has been like almost going to be 2 years. Is it going to be 2 years this year? Oh my god, it's going to be almost 2 years, because I started it when I was feeling miserable, like a year and a half ago. Like, hey me, congratulations. Like, you're almost up to 2 years of podcasting. You still haven't increased like the quality, you still haven't reached a larger audience, but like, you've done something consistently. You haven't done it well, but you have been consistent. You have been able to speak to yourself. You have been able to understand. You have been able to have like personal improvements from that. So what have I learned about myself? I have a near crippling fear of pushback. But things, I also have the ability to rebound fast. I also have the ability to understand that I'm able to do more. I've accepted the fact that what is happening today is the disappointment, and I don't know how I'm going to get to the office. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to try as much as possible to change. And things, because I have so little faith in people, and is it in my place to be disappointed with somebody? Because when somebody is in like close proximity with me, yes, it's the same individual as the other time, the chances that they are going to say something hurtful to me are very, very high, especially when it's somebody I wouldn't vibe with. That's why I kept on, like, in the beginning of January, I wanted to like be active with my friends. I wanted to take time out and speak to my friends, and talk about their ambitions and not talk over them. And it has been the first quarter, and that has woefully failed. I think at the end of the first quarter, I'll talk about like things that the plan for the new quarter, like the new quarter plans. But I have done a lot and I have learned a lot, and I feel like I'm in a better place with proper understanding of my ability to like answer goals, be there for people, provide insights, and be confident in my ability to actually be like a valuable resource to an individual if I don't fucking lose interest and my mind doesn't fly off somewhere. I want to be there. I want to be capable. I want to be capable of providing answers. I've been able to help people, to help structure, to be sustainable. And I want to listen to people because even though like it sounds like I'm waiting for my turn to speak, which I am, I'm not going to sit down and pretend like I don't like the sound of my own voice. I started a podcast for crying out loud, and I listen back to it because I think I give myself good words of wisdom. I give myself ways to structure my time, ways I've decided I'm going to live my life, ways I've decided like I want to continue my existence, and like structures like that. And I don't know if I would call myself proud of myself, but I don't like I'm trying to be considerate, but it's because like I said before, like knowing is not the same thing as acting. I remember saying this a lot of times on this podcast. I hate the fact that humanity doesn't have a hive mind. I understand that you're uncomfortable, you have doubts, you're afraid. But so am I. And I can only think about myself for right now. I can only think about myself for right now. And I'm so worried that you drown out in your own insecurities and take that out on me, because I cannot recognize. I think everything is gaslighting. I think every time, I won't say like interactions with people who have negative ideas of you, of your personality, of your character, of your existence is very terrifying. And that's why I tend to overdo and reduce time periods. I remember this particular period during this week, and somebody kept on asking, because this took a long time to do. It was grilling, it was stressful, it was annoying, and I wanted to do it well, even though I have done the thing. And the fact that he kept on saying, oh, like reminding me every single time, and I found myself giving a shorter and shorter time period. I was ashamed of myself for not being able to stick to my guns, not being able to say no. And when I finally snapped, it was not like I was the horrible person, because that's the thing, I cannot control in his mind, and I cannot have a random 9-hour conversation with a work colleague that I don't like the way you speak, I don't like your existence as a human being. Not that you're a bad person, I'm just setting that we won't vibe. But that's the one thing about becoming an adult. You work with individuals that you know that you would never choose this person. You would never vibe with this person. That's why I try to make jokes, but they often fall flat, because if I see an environment where people are making harsh jokes, when I make a harsh joke, I often take it too far. And I haven't learned my lesson in my 20, oh god, I'm fucking old. I was about to say 21. In my 24 years of existence, I haven't learned my lesson. And I haven't learned to stick to my guns. My mind always tries to sort itself out to fit in. Like, oh, does this group behave? Can I behave like that? Then I find myself then overcompensating and doing worse than what like this group ought to be doing. I'm making myself alienated, at least in my own mind. But the thing is, I do not like, we don't vibe with this person. I understand I'm going to have to reconnect with people. I'm going to have to like put myself out there and reach out to friends. Yes, I'm going to text the three that like call me and talk to me once in a while. Okay, let's make that 4. To me, being talking as it's like a lot of people, like even that 4, it's like the only people are maybe like a let me be honest, a tier 3 friend. I want to know more about them. I want to be there for them. I remember this one period last year that I don't know, I was thinking about making plans with somebody, because I was having like the concepts, like I won't say I understand the concepts of romance and structure and all those things, but like I was like, oh, this is a human I could possibly like want to share goals and aspirations, and we could work together to do things for ourselves. We could encourage each other. I could know about your issues. You could know about mine. And things, I was worried that I was looking for a problem dump, because any conversation I happen to have with individuals, I find myself oversharing, hence the podcast. So I can overshare to the internet. Thank God this thing is not like popular. And it's only when I talk about cool topics that I actually have a spike leadership in listenerships. So I'm so glad like this episodes, when I'm not talking about cool shit, like doesn't spike. And I'm so glad about the consistency. It's not, and I had been thinking about it, but I've been falling into a cycle of YouTube consumption. Yes, I relapse with like YouTube. I haven't really been reading any manga, so, and the thing is, I always feel guilty when I'm not working, and I'm like, no, you work in 9 to 5. You should make sure you perform your tasks adequately, but don't be like pushing things in your weekend that doesn't make any sense. Don't be putting like high tasks in your mind or stressing yourself. Take charge, take happiness, and be there. Understand what the fuck is going on. And thing is, I don't get why people are not excited for like wins and successes and be like, yes, like when we achieve things. But like, and I often take that maybe that's a slight to my personality. Maybe I'm not like vibe meshing with this group well. But like, I want people who are excited about the things I'm excited about. Even if I just want somebody to be excited for and somebody to be excited for me, and they should like understand what I'm talking about and why it was very difficult. Oh, and there's one thing they've also learned about me, myself. I'm learning a lot of negative things, but I'm also understanding that I'm making great improvements, especially my ability to be more opinionated. Like, I understand, one thing I understand is men are harsher towards men. So even if you're not like a good looking woman, I am allowed to be opinionated in the tech space because, well, they're being kind, and they're being kind. That's the word. They're being kind, but it allows me to get myself heard, get the things I understand, and let people understand that this is like. I remember, I don't know, because I don't think I can read a room. When somebody was explaining to me that the person we all work for allows me to be opinionated, but it doesn't do the same for like people who are not me. I was like, I don't see that. In my own mind, it kept on be like, people are not structuring their words very well, because this is something I still want to practice. I want to write down what I need to say. I want to make sure it is clear, because I tend to roll over my words. Like, when I mean to roll over my words, it starts becoming a jumbled mess when nobody can understand me. That's why I'm always wondering, like, what is our code of conduct? Like, when I hate it with a passion when somebody is explaining for me, because he seems to think that nobody else understands what I'm saying. But, and I always feel very awkward when I do it over that person, because my mind that tries to fit in is like, oh, okay, is this our code of conduct? Is this how we exist? And I'm like, no, I only probably did that because, not because it like is a negative thing. I'm just like, is this acceptable? That's the one thing I don't understand, why people don't have like real conversations as to what is like acceptable. But the thing is, I am people that doesn't have real conversations about what is acceptable, like in a structure, like or in a. That's the one thing. One of the big reasons that terrifies me about like a relationship. Like, what is our code of conduct? How do we decide we act towards the situation? So let's just give a summary of the things I learned myself. This is going to be a relatively short podcast. I'm even surprised I was able to go to like 20 minutes. I wonder how in the past I kept on going to like 45 minutes with my terrible audio on my phone. But like, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fucking awesome. And I've accepted that I've lost. And I am a disappointment in my own mind. But a new quarter is starting. And there are so many things I want to achieve. I want to be more organized in my mind. I want to be more organized in the structure, in the way I approach things, in the way I speak. And there's one thing I think I have improved. I stammer less. Yes, says it as she's stammering into a podcast, but I stammer less, so I'm able to properly organize my thoughts due to a lot of practice. And I think I'm able to clearly enunciate what I need. And another thing is also one important thing. I learned I shake and I'm terrified when my body, my subconscious has decided something or someone is terrible or scary, but my mind is like reading in blank. I don't see the individual as terrible or scary. I see them as understanding, as capable, as me being able to provide a solution. See me not still not being able to provide a solution since all these days. It's a solution that is tied to my name. I want to be able to do more. So even if I get like a -1, so if I don't get like queried and stuff, I want to do well. I'm not going to be an A-star person. I see me referring to myself. But this new quarter, this new giving myself an opportunity to do well, giving myself an opportunity to mesh better with the team. And there's one thing, I want to be a better leader, because I find myself like not, because I'm so terrified about pushback. I don't, and the thing I've noticed that if you let yourself continue going like about pushback, you will blow up, and then your reasons and your words are not logical. And if you are with somebody who in your mind you have written them up to be malicious simply because you don't vibe well with this person, then it's your worries and you're afraid and your fear is going to be not justified. So I'm going to new week resolution, and basically anytime I could make a resolution when it's not about doing things, about my own character, like I suddenly went and scraped my head. I think I look really cool, even though my hyperpigmentation is coming back. Is I want to know that what's the word I'm looking for? If I feel terrible, I'm going to voice it. I'm going to properly explain and understand, and I want to be able to do this at the drop of the hat, so it shouldn't be like, oh okay, like thinking of a comeback or like like hammering out scenarios in my head where I could have said more, I could have known more. If I feel unfazed, if I do not like something, I say it. And I say it now. I do not wait till it blows up and I can no longer remember, because my mind has this ability to just delete anything that went wrong. So even though I'm left with the feeling that I dislike this human being, I cannot exactly mention instances where I dislike this human being. And understanding that this is another person, I'm going to do well. I'm going to be well, and things are going to be fine, and I'm going to push myself. I'm not going to push myself, I'm going to make sure I have balance in my life, says the girl who did not sleep till 7 a.m. on Saturday and is still feeling the fucking effects of Sunday. I am never doing that again, no matter how fun and interesting it tax was. Okay, it was really fun. I'm not going to fucking deny that it was fun, and when they're on the gen by 8, I'm actually going to go back to work. And I'm like, I don't get like people are not like as excited for things as I am. So I'm going to make sure I need to find a structure to like lead a team where people are doing their assignments and people are working independently. So every session we meet is a productive session and not a research session, because I really hate research sessions. They don't make any sense to me. So it's like, I don't know, and I think it's a waste of time. So I think give people time to gather homework, try out solution, and be there for themselves, provide themselves with answers. And yeah, I want to be structured. I don't know what ambition is. I think I have decided like a new ambition for myself. Two ambitions actually. One is forgive myself. Okay, three, but like okay, one is two, but like 1A and 1B. 1A is forgive myself for my dismal performance in the last year, and understand that it was because I didn't know enough. Then actually get good and improve and do better and make sure that I give versions of myself. And one thing that I think I got feedback from another person, and it made me sit down and realize because I'm a perfectionist, I tend to underperform because I spend so much time perfecting the situation and nobody's aware of the progress I've been making or what I'm doing or the moves I'm making. I want to be confident enough to just, this is what I'm doing, this is how I achieve this, see me, I'm visible, I'll call you every day. And on Monday, even though I'm not going to be in the office, I'm going to tell about tax manager what I want done on Monday. I'm going to have it done on Monday. And I'm going to sleep well. And I'm going to go back to drawing. Yes, Daya is picking up her tablet again and going back to drawing. Yes. And I won't say like I want to get good. I want to, there's a drawing style I want to copy, and I'm going to spend like days just replicating it and studying anatomy, because it's mostly anatomy. Because when it comes to like pictures and movements, I find myself being able to replicate and copy it and make edits, and that's fine. But with human anatomy, those are the things I actually want to draw new things of. Unless maybe like cars and mecha, that'd be cool too. So like I need to understand like the structure of these things and move forward and actually learn these things and get better at process mecha. So yeah, I mentioned the work thing in the middle. No matter how fun a task is, don't fucking not sleep because it's very fucking fun. Don't do that. Says the girl who's going back to work at 8 p.m. That's irresponsible. And Monday, I'm never doing that. I'm also going back to working out. I'm also going to make sure that I speak forward. Says, new resolution, Dio, who actually does improve. And the thing is, I'm proud of myself with the fact that even though I don't achieve the standard I want, I actually do have improvements and stick to them. And I need to go back to muscle building and focusing more on leg raises so I can strengthen my core. What else? So yes, a summary. One, I just realized the extent at which human pushback terrifies me, and I would say the idea, the realization about the amount, because I know I've been dealing with this for years, but like now I have the full realization of how I'm unable to handle negative like pushback or like people raising their voice at me. People who are not family, I'm very confident among my family, which I notice like all my family is confident among, and not being able to start to stick my ground when people are trying to pressure me for things that they want. And I think I should fix that about myself before I like attempt to even remotely entertain a relationship, because like human beings tend to act like that a lot, and you get taken advantage of if you find yourself in that kind of situation. Oh god, that terrifies me. So on to like 2 years from now, because I remember like saying this thing like 9 months ago, where I was like, oh, okay, next year I'd be settled and stable. And but things, you're never settled, you're never stable. Like there are new things that your mind gets you to be worried about. So I just realized I actually never did want it. I was just giving myself like stupid I won't use the word stupid, like weird timelines. So because I knew it probably never happened, because my mind would find something else to be terrified about. Anyways, get better at dealing with negative information. Ask people to explain, because you jump to conclusions, jump to assumptions, are always terrified about being an igala, because like you've been teased about it like all your life, and you went through like a not talking to anybody in uni because you are around very cruel people, and one of the reasons why you are terrified of dudes. But you're finding yourself in a very male dominated place, so like you need to stop being terrified of dudes. So it's like learn to deal with pushback, especially pushback from people who are stronger than you, like physically. Then next is always make sure that you ask why. Do not make assumptions, like have the answers. Don't just blow up. Take about accountability. I found myself like sincerely apologizing more often, not trying to deflect the situation, because I feel like I am taking more blame than I should about this situation. Next is be a better leader. You need to focus and ensure that be a better leader, because I hate research sessions. I hate when we're just like posturing and we're all sitting around giving ideas. Like, I want to structure a team where people go back, work on things, and just not like actually have assignments, actually follow on leads, and actually expect people to perform and have things that they're expecting on, like whatever. So yeah, it has been a personal code of conduct. This week is ending on a high note. That you're starting a new week. And yeah, even though the audio is crappy, like yeah, I'm alive. I'm alive! Oh, also I got like a weird text from like a classmate person that I never talked to, and that's just weird. So yeah, be more bold. We're starting this coming week, understanding my faults, and I won't say fix them, we're going to improve, and we're going to improve very well. Oh yeah, and more leg raises and going back to the gym. Not back to the gym, like I don't want to be fat. I'm surprised I'm still like relatively skinny, but like I could be skinnier. So that is another issue for another time. It has been a personal code of conduct. I'm Dio, and have a productive week.